Hello there, Micah's dad Danny here. I just want to give a quick tutorial on a super easy way to set up your PreSonus ioStation 24C to Logic Pro X in just 2 minutes. It's really easy to set up and get it working and getting everything ready to go in Logic Pro. When I first got mine, it took me a while looking through videos, looking through the documentation. Nothing seemed to work right. It took me hours to finally get it working, but I'm going to show you just a couple easy steps. You'll get this thing up and running, 2 minutes tops. Let's do this. One thing I just want to let you know that the audio you're hearing in this video is directly from the phone. It is not going through the ioStation, just from the phone, just to make sure you know that. Let's do this. First thing I'm going to do is show you our setup real quick on how we're using the control. Okay, you're taking a look at our desktop here. Here is the ioStation. The right-hand side, you have your interface controls for your audio in and outs. This is your DAW control side. We're using the DAW to control Logic Pro on our Apple iMac. And then for our inputs, we're using an Ampero by Hot Tone. All our instruments, all our guitars, bass, piano, everything goes through the Ampero to our input 1 on the ioStation. Back here, we have our microphone set up to input 2. Those are both controlled, gain controls for those two inputs here. You can switch back and forth with your line button. You got your main out. We got an out going to our flat response monitor up overhead, and here's a mute button you can use to turn that monitor on and off. That is very handy. And then you also have headphone controls here, which are plugged in the back also. We have controls for our Ampero set up right here. All our instrument controls, all our effects, amp modeling. Right-hand side, our DAW. So let's get to it. All right, you want to have the ioStation hooked up to your computer. When you first turn it on, don't open your Logic Pro yet. Before you turn on Logic Pro, the ioStation is set up for different software by default than Logic Pro. To set it up for Logic Pro orientation, what you want to do before you hit the power button, hold down next, keep it held in, hit the power button until it comes up. Now everything's flashing, you know you did it right. The next thing you do, the documentation says to press the mute button. It is not this mute button. This had me going in circles for a while. The mute button that you want to press is up top here. Press that button, boom. It is set for Logic Pro. You're good to go. Now let's show you how to set up Logic Pro in the Logic Pro software. All right, we now have Logic Pro X all opened up and ready to rock and roll. Let's get this ioStation set up. First thing you're gonna do is go to Logic Pro drop-down tab at the top left. You're gonna pick Control Surfaces. Under Control Surfaces, we're going to pick Setup. You don't want assignments, we want Setup. You can see my original setup is over here. We're going to go ahead and add a new one so you can see how it's done. We're going to go to New drop-down, Install, New Install, and you're going to see a window open up with a whole bunch of devices. Now this is very important. We're going to choose Mackie Designs MCU Pro Logic Control. Once again, that is Mackie Designs MCU Pro Logic Control. Write that down. Don't click Scan. Don't click the highlighted scan. Click Add. You will not get this pop-up. This is only coming up because I already have it installed. Go ahead and close that window. And we have our new control on the right here, MCU Pro. Number 2, what we want to do is from the drop down here, we're going to click input and outputs, go to the drop down, click ioStation 24C for both the input and output. This is the only change in the software you need to do in this part. So it looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and erase my new one I added. I don't want it interfering or messing up anything I've already set up. But we're all set. Your DAW control is all ready, but we still need to configure your interface side for your gain inputs for your line 1 and 2 and your headphone out and your main out. So let's configure that now. We're going to go to, let's close this window out. Boom. We're going to go back to the Logic Pro tab drop down. Going to click Preferences, Audio. Going to make sure Core Audio is enabled, and from your output and input device, you're going to pick ioStation 24C. And that is it. Your interface side of the ioStation is now configured along with the DAW, and it is all set to use with Logic Pro. That is it. Easy, simple, ready to rock and roll, make some tunes, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, now you can see it is all set up now. You can see my fader. Moving the button here, you can click next and previous to switch between the different faders in the software, and you can see it automatically syncing up with the motorized fader on the ioStation. One of my favorite things to do with this is using it to control the volume and panning through automation. That is easy. Set up automation up here, and then you can control the volume with the fader. You can control panning with the dial, or if you want to do panning with the fader, hit shift and pan to switch, and now the fader controls the panning. Have fun. I love playing around with this. I'm still learning everything that this thing can do. And that's it. You're all set. Your ioStation is set up and ready to record and have fun in your Logic Pro X. And just to show you how easy it makes it, take a look at our latest music video. It's called Cannonball. You'll find a link up in the cards. You'll find a link down in the description and in the comments. Our Cannonball video is our first video that we used with this complete. It's our first video that we've done with this setup. The entire video, recording, editing, shooting the video editing, and putting it all together took a total of about 3.5 hours. That's it. This makes your life so much easier. Thank you so much for watching. If there's anything else you'd like to see as far as gear reviews or how-tos using this type of setup or in the Logic Pro, leave it down in the comments. Anything else you'd like to see? We will see you next time, and we look forward to rocking with you. Subscribe, click that share button, click that notification bell. See you next time. Jazz hands. Jazz hands. Like, subscribe, do it.